Morning, everybody. So welcome to another Matt self-care session online. Welcome to everybody who's joining maybe later in the week or wherever you are. I want to start by acknowledging that wherever we are in our different suburbs and postcodes, we're all on Aboriginal land today, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging around the state. So today's going to be mostly standing. We might do a little bit of sitting towards the end if you feel like it. I'm just going to remain standing. But yeah, we're going to do a short kind of silence, meditation, intentional silence towards the end, just a couple of minutes. So if you're more comfortable sitting down for that, then please grab a pillow or a yoga mat or whatever you want to make it feel comfortable and nice for your body. That's going to be towards the end of the session though. So we are going to continue on our themes of the code and of self-care today. So it's going to be a nice, gentle session, lots of movement, lots of breathing, but don't worry, take it at your own pace, please. So if you need me to adjust something for you, you can just put your hand up, or really just do what feels good for you. There's definitely no expectation for you to do exactly things the way that I'm doing them. So we'll get started just with a shoulder width apart stance. So feet underneath hips, hips underneath shoulders. Find a little bit of length in your spine and a bend in your knees. From here, we're going to do a few big deep breaths to start off the session, and we're going to use our hands as well. So it's going to be hands out to the side, coming up, and then as we breathe out, the hands are going to float down in front of us like this. Now, you don't have to time anything with your breath. If you want to breathe differently to that, that's totally fine. I'm going to breathe in and then breathe out as I go down, but please take it in your own time. So let's try that a few times together. So as we start, nice and slow, breathing in, bring the hands up above the head, and then floating them down in front of you. This exercise in Qigong is called hands sink through water. And that's really what it's about, is as we come up, we imagine we're moving slowly against this water, and then we're really just letting our hands sink and float down. A couple more. And wherever you're at, let's do one more together. Breathing all the way down into your tummy. And letting your hands settle. And once you reach the bottom here, just relax your arms, relax your shoulders. If you like, you can put your hands over your tummy as well. We're just going to close our eyes for a minute or so. Just take some time to set an intention for today's practice, maybe even for your whole day, maybe even for your week. It's up to you. I'm going to give you some suggestions of things. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Try and take a moment to think about your posture. So again, making sure there's a little bend in the knees, finding that length in the spine, shoulders back. So from here, I'm going to give you some prompts on the code. So in the MAT program, most of you will probably know that we work with the code, and there are 4 values to this code. Be strong, be calm, be kind, and try hard. So we're thinking about strength. Strength might be personal, might be what kind of strength we need to make it through the week. Might be strength for others, being strong for others who we need to support, perhaps students, perhaps children, perhaps other family members or friends. If you think about calmness, calmness might be something that's in a little bit of short supply at the moment, perhaps. So maybe that's something for the next half hour that you want to take away. I just want to leave this session feeling a little bit calmer than when I started. And that's great. Kindness. Kindness is very important for ourselves, possibly first and foremost. and for everyone around us going through this difficult time as well. And this concept of being strong, of trying hard, the last part of the code, right? Of really setting our minds to our tasks this week, what we need to get done. We might not want to do it all, but particularly for those of you working in schools, it's very necessary, important work. So really setting our intention to try hard for the people who need us. So just take another few deep breaths and allow some of those thoughts to settle in. Some of them might jump out at you right away. You might pick a couple of them. It's up to you. So we can relax our arms now, open your eyes. We're going to start with a little bit of self-massage. So I invite you to put your hands together and create a little bit of warmth here. Really get some friction going in your hands. I think in this time of isolation, it's particularly important that we get some physical touch. We might not be getting all the hugs and physical intimacy with people that we usually get from a broader range of people, so we can give it to ourselves maybe. So I'm going to start with my face. If you don't feel comfortable touching your eyes and your mouth, that's totally fine. Just start with your head or around there, but I'm going to put my hands straight over my face because that feels nice. And just start to give yourself a little bit of a rub all the way around. Make sure you definitely do your jaw muscles. It's a bit of a place of tension. Work out some stiffness in there. And you can move up onto your scalp. Really use your fingertips and get in there. Let your fingers kind of be your guide. Just go where it feels good. You might go to your ears. Ears are a really nice place to give a bit of attention, particularly the lobes. Looking around. And so we're going to come down and we're going to use one hand here. Just to start, you can pat with your open hand. You can use your fingertips, or some of you might even like to use a loose fist. But we're just going to start doing a gentle pat, getting some blood flowing into the muscles. So start with your neck and shoulder here. It's your chest maybe as well. And then we're going to go down the outside of one arm, so all the way down to the fingertips. Turn it over and then come back up the inside. And then repeat that a few times. So down the outside of the arm.
I didn't anything on, I just hooked on it. I was watching.
I was coming to give you a call with me and you that.
I told you I was going to go on it. What do you mean?
No, you didn't. You said you were.
And the other side now. So
I'm coming back.
good. Starting with the shoulder, down the outside of the arm, and back up the middle. Sorry, back up the inside rather. You can really make this as gentle or as hard as you like. It's really just about getting a bit of blood flowing. So now we're going to go down front of the chest. You might still like to use fingertips here. We're going to go down through the tummy. You might start to switch to a little bit of a rub here as well. See what feels good. Down the outside of the body, making sure we get it in everywhere that we can reach. So definitely don't forget the back, the lower back here. Definitely don't forget the butt. Give yourself a bit of a whack if that feels good. Get some blood flowing around the outside of the hips too. And continue on down towards your knees, up the insides of your thigh, down the outside of your quads. And again, switching to massage if that feels good. That can feel particularly nice on the calves, on the hamstrings. Getting some warmth in there. And don't forget the toes. All right, when you're done, just release the hands, coming back to that standing posture. Give yourself a moment to feel how that feels in your body. Maybe you got some tingling sensations. Hopefully you're feeling a bit warmer. So we're going to start with a couple of breathing and body techniques as well. So I invite you to put your feet together. We're going to bring our hands together and then up on top of our head, and I'm using just this, my index fingers are pointed up. You don't have to do anything particular, and so that is totally fine. But we're going to stretch up here. You can come up onto your tippy toes if you have the balance, if that feels good. But then when we bring our hand down, we're going to bend our knees and stretch down kind of into a squat or a half squat, and then reaching up. Now, I'm going to time it with my breathing. So I'm going to breathe in as I come down and breathe out as I stretch up, but there's really no pressure to do that at all. So reaching up, extending everything, and then into a low squat. Up. And wherever you're at, just do one more. And then let the hands come down to the side. Right. So we're going to do some joint mobility now. So starting with the neck, we're going to do one ear to one shoulder. You can also point away with this opposing hand as well. Should feel a nice stretch down the side here, the scalene muscles of your neck. And if it feels good and it's okay with your neck, we're going to do some chin circles as well. So nice big rotations of the chin. Great. And changing over to the other side. So nice and gently with your neck. And then big circles. Great, and relaxing, releasing there. So I invite you to put one of your hands to the outside of the other wrist here. And what we're going to do with that inside hand is we're going to start a nice big circle, and that outside hand is just going to follow. So it might take you a minute to get the coordination, that's okay. But really we're just rolling one of our wrists and the other one is following there. So we're warming up our wrists, but we're also giving ourselves that little tactile touch again, which can feel quite nice. Nice big slow movements. And moving your arm down, your forearm, we're going to go towards the elbow. So now the movement is centered at the elbow. That other hand is still in contact. Very good, and we can change direction here as well. Now we're going to move that hand up to the shoulder. And from here, we're just going to roll the shoulder, dropping it forward, making sure that arm that is hanging is nice and loose, not holding any tension. You might even take a step forward on that same side to give yourself a bit more of a hang. And then back the other way as well. So we're picking it up and rolling it back. Excellent. So let's change sides now. So starting again on our wrist, one hand to the outside, the inside hand rolls. Excellent. And moving that hand down to the elbow. In Qigong, this practice is called reeling silk. So that's kind of the imagery you're working with. You can change directions as if your body is got that kind of nice loose quality of silk. And you can feel it flowing past your hands. Right, and up to the shoulder. And back the other way. Great, relax the arms down. Breathing in, we're going to reach both hands up, but take a hold of one thumb with one hand, and whichever way you're pulling your thumb, we're going to reach over as we pull that thumb towards one side. You don't have to go too far with this, just far enough that you feel a little stretch down the side of the body here. And then release. I like to breathe in as I prepare, and then breathe out as I start to move. Very good. And back to the middle. And then from here, as the arms come down, just follow the motion. We're going to go into a forward fold. Now, for those of you who've had back issues in the past, take this very gently, very easily. We're just going to keep the motion going, reaching down towards your knees, your shins, your ankles, wherever you get to, and holding that position for a few moments. You might like to cross your arms over at the bottom there as well and hang, but just keep hanging for a couple of minutes. Oh, not a couple of minutes, 30 seconds. And then as you start to come back up, bend your knees first, and then roll slowly through each vertebrae. As we come back up, shoulders, then neck, then eyes, last thing to come up. Good, hands on your hips, and we'll do a couple of hip circles, one direction. And back the other way. Great, give your body a little shake out, just to see how that feels. So we're going to do our first kind of structured breathing exercise today, but as I said before, there's really no pressure to make sure that you time the breathing with the body. If you just want to breathe naturally and it's not working for you, breathing the way I suggest, then do that. It's totally fine. It's really more about just being in your body during the exercise. So we're going to start, this is called box breathing. So we breathe in with and then a small pause, and then we breathe out with a small pause, and then we breathe in with a small pause. That's really all there is to it. But the hands and the arms are going to move. So start with your hands down, just down in front of your hips. And as we take our first big deep breath in, they're going to come up to the chest. So just relax in front of the chest here, a small pause. And then we're going to breathe out, and the hands are going to push out to the side. So once your arms are fully extended, small pause again. And then we breathe in and we basically reverse and repeat. So hands come back to the chest. Small pause. And breathe out. Down to the bottom. Small pause. So you can continue in your own time. And as I said, there's no pressure to do the breathing in the prescribed way. Just do what feels good. But again, we're working with that nice, slow, silky quality. I often describe this as the way a dancer might move, or a martial artist. You know, a dancer never simply puts their arms out like that. It's a very intentional movement all the time. So try and channel a little bit of that intention into the way that you move. So wherever you're at, let's do one more whole set. And finish with your arms in the bottom position. Great. So the idea with that is just to start giving some idea to breathing intentionally, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be great, but you're just starting to notice your breath, start to control parts of it. Is really important. So we're going to move on to another one that you can time your breathing with this one, but again, it's not important. So we're going to take two fists and turn them towards your chest. So essentially, this is very similar to cat-cow in yoga, if you've ever done that position. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So in the starting position here, I'm really going to curl my spine over, kind of almost hunching my back and tucking my hips under. And then what I do is, as I release this position, my arms come out to the side, and I really try and arch my back and my spine and look up and away. So from the front, we're going here. You can start breathing in, would be my suggestion. And then breathing out and releasing that breath and really trying to flex the back, trying to get as much mobility into the spine as possible. So continue in your own time. Go as fast or as slow as you like, but opening up and releasing, closing down and contracting. Really push those shoulder blades back and then split them apart in this bottom position. So wherever you're at, just pause when you get to your next opening up one. And we're going to all meet here and then put our arms out to the side. And from here, we're just going to do a quick kind of thoracic spine mobilization. So we're going to drop the arms. One arm's going to come in front and one arm's going to go behind. So what it looks like is this. And then I come back up to the top. And then the other arm goes in front and the other arm behind. So this one can be a bit tricky. Don't worry if you're feeling a bit unco right now, right? Just have some fun with it. Just try and let your arms really drop is the main thing. Doesn't matter too much where you end up, but you're really just trying to let your chest and your waist rotate. So your hips and your knees should be pretty much locked into position. And then you're just trying to let your arms have that heavy, relaxed quality. A very good exercise for the upper back and the spine in general. Great, and so just let the arms start to lose their momentum gradually. Don't stop too suddenly. Let it all wind down, keeping those arms nice and relaxed. So we're going to finish with 3 of the hands sink through water from the start together, and then I'm just going to give us a couple of minutes at the end of some intentional silence, meditation, call it whatever you like, but just to reflect back over what we talked about at the beginning, the intention setting. Maybe you want to use that time to reflect on your day or your week, or maybe you want to try and think about nothing, up to you. But let's begin now to finish with the hands sink through water. So nice and slowly bringing your arms up and then breathing out as we come down. Last one. Great. So now just find a position that is comfortable. As I said, I'm just going to remain standing here like this. You might choose to sit down, take a cushion. You might choose to lie down even. Up to you, whatever's going to feel good for you to end this practice off and to feel nice and relaxed in your body. When you find that comfortable position, close your eyes down if you feel comfortable, or just keep them relaxed if you want to keep them a little bit open. And we've got about 2.5 minutes now to think about some of those intentions. So I'll go over them again briefly for you. So the code that we teach to the kids we work with is be strong, be calm, be kind, and try hard. So again, those elements of strength, calmness, kindness, and trying hard. Perseverance, you might call it. Just start to notice your breathing. Start to notice your body, areas of tension. And try not to judge too much. If there's tension, you can let it go, but don't worry. Just thank yourself for showing up today and for doing this practice and for taking care of yourself. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to leave you there, but feel free to remain where you are if you're feeling good, if you've got the time. I hope you enjoyed today's session. And remember, every Monday, same time, we are running these sessions for free, so spread the word if you enjoyed today, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye for now.